Do you want to know one of the quickest ways to improve your Writing Task 2 band score? Well, it's simply to use higher level vocabulary. When the examiner is deciding your band score for Writing Task 2, he's going to look at 4 things. And one of those things is lexical resource, and that simply means vocabulary. He's going to look at the range of vocabulary that you use, and he's also going to look at what type of vocabulary you use. So are you using very easy words? Are you using more advanced words? And obviously, if you're using higher level vocabulary, that's going to increase your lexical resource score. So in this lesson, we're going to look at 10 words and phrases you can use to improve your Writing Task 2 essays. We're going to look at the meaning and the part of speech for each one. And I'm also going to show you some examples so you can see exactly how to use each word or each phrase. Now, to start with, a lot of students, when they're giving their opinion, they'll simply say something like, I think this is a good idea, or I support this. But instead of that, you can use the word advocate. Now, the word advocate is a verb, and it simply means to strongly support or recommend something. Now, some synonyms are recommend, support, and promote. And here are some collocations. Advocate for something, advocate against something. And we're going to have a look at how to use both of those right now. So here's the first example. Many researchers advocate for using renewable energy solutions to address global warming. So in this sentence, we're saying using renewable energy is good. That's what advocate for means. It means we think that thing is good. Now, on the other hand, look at this sentence. Many environmentalists advocate against the use of plastic bags to reduce pollution. So in this sentence, we're saying using plastic bags is not good. So you can see that we can use advocate in 2 different ways. We can use it to support something and say it's good, and we can also use it to say that we think something is not good and we don't support it. So advocate is a great word to use in task 2 when you want to show that you support something or you don't support something. Now here's the second one, alleviate. Alleviate is also a verb, and it simply means to make a problem less bad. Here are some synonyms: reduce, ease, and relieve. And here are some collocations: alleviate a problem, alleviate stress, and alleviate pain. So in all of these collocations, it simply means we're reducing that thing, we're making that thing or that problem less bad. Here's an example. More public transports can help alleviate traffic congestion in big cities. So what we're saying is, if we have more public transport, it's going to help reduce the traffic problems in big cities. Exercise not only strengthens the cardiovascular system, the cardiovascular system is talking about your heart, but it can also alleviate stress and improve mental health. So we're simply saying that exercise can reduce stress. So alleviate is a great word to use when you want to say something is less bad. Instead of just saying reduce stress or reduce traffic congestion, you could say alleviate stress or alleviate traffic congestion. Moving on to the third word now, which is repercussion. Repercussion. This is a great word and it's a noun. It simply means a negative result or effect of an action or decision. And that's really important to remember. Repercussion is talking about a negative result. Here are some synonyms: effect, consequence, and impact. Some collocations are serious repercussion. So this simply means a serious or a strong negative result. Long-term repercussion, economic repercussions. Here's an example. Skipping school can have serious repercussions on a student's future. So this simply means that if students skip school, if they don't go to school, this can have big negative effects for them. Not following health guidelines can have dangerous repercussions for people. So this simply means that the effects will be dangerous. They could be harmful. They could hurt someone. So repercussion is a great word to use when you're talking about a negative effect. Remember, when you're using repercussion, it must be about something negative. Number 4, obstacle. Obstacle is a noun, and it means something that makes it difficult to do something. Some synonyms are challenge, difficulty, or barrier. Some common collocations are a major obstacle. Major means big or serious. To face an obstacle. Overcome an obstacle. Here's an example. Financial problems can be a major obstacle for those who are looking to pursue tertiary education. Now, tertiary education simply means university education. So in this sentence, we're saying that not having enough money can make it difficult for people who want to go to university and study at university. Here's a second example. An obstacle that a lot of young people face when finding a job is a lack of experience. So we're saying here that a problem, a challenge that a lot of young people face is not having enough experience. So obstacle is a great word to use when there is a difficulty or when something is really hard to do. It's a really great word to use when you're talking about a problem. Moving on to number 5 now, inevitable. Inevitable. Now, inevitable is an adjective, and it simply means something that will happen at some point in the future. So it will happen, but we don't know when it will happen. It might happen next week, it might happen next month, or it might happen next year. Some synonyms are certain, expected, and unavoidable. Some common collocations are an inevitable consequence. So this simply means a consequence or an effect that will happen. And another collocation is an inevitable result. So here's the first example. With the rise of automation and AI, job losses in some industries are inevitable. So that means there will be some job losses in some industries. We don't know when it will happen. It could happen in a year, it could happen in 5 years, but it will happen. Moving on to the second one, climate change is an inevitable consequence of all of the pollution being created by humans. So this simply means climate change will happen no matter what. So inevitable is a great word to use when you're talking about something that will happen. Instead of saying it will happen, you can sometimes use the word inevitable. Moving on to number 6 now, which is widespread. This is an adjective, and it means something that happens in many places or something that affects many people. Here are some synonyms: common, global, popular. Some collocations are widespread belief, widespread impact, and widespread use. So for example, a widespread belief, that simply means a belief that happens in many places or something that affects many people. Here's an example. The widespread use of social media has revolutionized how we communicate in the modern world. So that simply means that social media is everywhere. It is happening in many, many places. It is being used in many, many places. There is widespread concern about the amount of people who are overweight and unhealthy. Concern simply means a worry. So that means that many people are worried because a lot of people in the world now are overweight. So widespread is a great word to use if you're talking about something like a problem or a thing that is common in many different places. The next one is stem from. This is a great phrase to use, and it's a phrasal verb. Now, stem from simply means to come from or to be caused by something. So here are some synonyms: come from, result from, or be caused by. And here are some collocations: stem from a problem. So this means come from a problem. Stem from a lack of something. So this would mean to come from a lack of something. For example, stress and anxiety in the modern world today often stem from poor diet and lack of exercise. So this simply means that stress and anxiety normally come from not eating well and not exercising enough. I would argue that a lot of social problems stem from a lack of education. So in this sentence, the person is giving their opinion and they're using the word stem from to say where something comes from. So instead of just using the phrase come from, try using the phrasal verb stem from. It's going to make your writing sound very professional and more like a native speaker. Moving on to number 8 now, controversial. Controversial. This is an adjective, and it means something that causes strong opinions or disagreements. And that's the key thing there. Something that's controversial causes really strong opinions. Now, here are some synonyms: debatable and problematic. Here are some collocations: a controversial topic. So this means a topic that causes strong opinions. A controversial figure. This means a controversial person. So if someone is controversial, that means some people like him or her, and some people don't like that person. That person causes strong opinions. And finally, a controversial law. Now let's have a look at some examples. Social media censorship is a controversial issue and people have strong opinions about it. So this just means exactly what it says. People have strong opinions about this issue or about this topic. Although some people believe in using animals for scientific experiments, it still remains a controversial topic. So just think about this topic. Just think about using animals for scientific experiments. Some people have really strong opinions about this, and that's why we can say it's a controversial topic. So controversial is a great word you can use when you're talking about topics or things or issues which people have strong opinions on. Moving on to number 9, the second last word, initiative. Now, initiative is a noun, and it means a new plan or action to fix or solve a problem or to improve something. Some synonyms are a plan, a project, a program, or a strategy. Here are some collocations: government initiative. So this simply means a government plan or action. Environmental initiative. Major initiative. So a major initiative would mean a big plan or a big strategy. Many governments around the world are proposing initiatives that reduce energy use. So this simply means many governments are coming up with, or they are thinking about, plans or strategies that would help to reduce energy use. Companies are investing in green initiatives to reduce their impact on the environment. So a green initiative is referring to the environment. So it's a plan or a strategy or a project that's probably going to help the environment in some way. So initiative is a great noun you can use when you're talking about a new plan or a strategy to solve a problem. Now, please note that initiative is normally used with governments or companies rather than individuals or people like you and me. Now, when a government or a company starts an initiative, they need to take action to make it happen. And when they do this, we can use the word implement. And that is the next word we're going to look at: implement. Implement is a verb, and it means to start using a plan, law, or strategy to make something happen. Here are some synonyms: start, put into action, and introduce. Here are some collocations: implement and initiative. So we've already talked about initiative. That just means to start using an initiative. Successfully implement. That means you start using a plan successfully. You have positive results. Difficult to implement. Now let's have a look at some examples. Many schools have implemented initiatives that ban students from using their mobile phones in the classroom. So this simply means that many schools have started using plans or strategies, and these plans or strategies ban students from using their phones in the classroom. They can't use their phones in the classroom. Schools that can successfully implement online learning programs will improve the accessibility of remote learning. So implement is a great word to use when you're saying that a plan or strategy is put into action. So now that you've learned these 10 high-level words, what should you do next? Well, the first thing you should do is try to use them in your own writing, but only when it's natural to do so. Because a lot of students, they try to put in as much high-level vocabulary as they can, and there's nothing wrong with that if you use it correctly and naturally. But if you're adding in high-level words and you're not using them correctly, this is going to reduce your band score because you're using the vocabulary incorrectly. So just remember, you don't need to use 10 or 20 advanced words in every sentence. What really matters is using some high-level words accurately and naturally. So take these words, write a few sentences with them, and try to include them in your next IELTS essay. Now, if you want more help to improve your writing, check out our Band 7 Plus preparation course, which is going to teach you everything you need to know to get a Band 7 or higher in IELTS. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.